What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have us another Monday Night Football game. Today, we have the Chiefs taking on the Jaguars in Jacksonville. So I'm going to give you guys a teaser for this game. I'm going to give you guys 4 player props. Then we're going to lock in 2 slips live on video so that you guys can get them on both Prizepicks and parlay play. So that being said, if you guys want to get all these plays, make sure you guys stick around till the end. All right, so before we jump into anything, we do have to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of our VIP. You guys know the drill already. If this video gets 250 likes, I will use this comment picker to randomly select one comment down below to win a free month of our VIP, which is a $25 value. So make sure you guys drop a like on the video, leave a comment, make sure you guys are subscribed if you're not already, and let's go ahead and pick our winner. So winner from yesterday is going to be for KY Steezy, who said VIP. So KY Steezy, send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added for that free month of VIP. I do appreciate the love and support from every single one of you guys. And let's go ahead and talk about the free picks yesterday, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, hey, I cashed every slip, join our VIP, you're going to make $1 million in the first month. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit like a lot of these guys do. I'm going to show you guys some wins, and I'm going to show you guys some losses. So overall, yesterday was not a bad day. It wasn't a negative day, and it was extremely close to being a phenomenal day. We needed a couple of props to make that phenomenal day happen, and let's go ahead and talk about these. So I gave you guys this slip for free yesterday on YouTube. Bo Nix, Breece Hall. 150 to win 337. This was live, locked in. I showed you guys a slip I was going to lock in. I actually did say I might take Jonathan Taylor over Breece Hall, but you can see I played Jonathan Taylor right here as well. So this was on a second slip, $100 to win 200 with Javonte Williams. I only put $100 on this slip because Javonte Williams' fantasy score I was unsure about, but he ended up being a lock yesterday. That was pretty much, I think that was first half. 23-3. I'm pretty sure, yeah, quarter number 2 right here with 19 seconds left. I screenshotted that. So that cashed first half. We locked in this slip live, Taylor, Hall, and Nix on the same slip on parlay play, 250 to win 700. That was a big win for us. And then obviously we have some other wins over here that weren't on VIP. Some of these weren't on the video. These were posted in our Discord if you guys wanted to get them. I actually ended up taking the Cowboys money line and then a Cowboys teaser. Cowboys won me over $1,000 yesterday. Those 2 slips together was a $3,400 win with like $1,700 bet or $1,500 bet, something like that. So it was a nice little dub there. But let's talk about some of these L's, guys, because I did give this slip for free yesterday. Brandon Aubrey, 1.5 PATs with Tress Way punts. So the Chargers could not stop Washington the second half. First half, Tress Way had 2 punts. Brandon Aubrey obviously cashed. That one was free. But Tress Way had 2 punts in the first half. He actually had 3 punts. Right before the half, the Chargers roughed the punter on a punt, which would have been punt number 3, and the Washington ended up scoring off that drive because of that. So that took away a lot of the momentum from both the Chargers and then gave it to Washington. So you have to understand that small mistakes like that can cause a team to go. I'm not going to say Tress Way would have got the 4th punt in the second half if they had 3 in the first half, but I truthfully think he would have. So it is what it is, man. That one chalked. And then I had Javonte Williams with Ryan Recco punter for the Bengals. Dude had 4 punts in the first half. 4 in the first half and did not get another punt in the second half. For some reason, the Lions couldn't get a stop versus the Bengals. I mean, I don't know what happened that second half. They could not. Browning became Joe Burrow 2.0 and threw touchdowns every single pass pretty much. So that one ended up chalking what literally looked free because Javonte Williams cashed easy. Recco with 4 in the first half. I legitimately thought that was just a free slip. It ended up missing. So never pre-cash slips. That's why I didn't post a win there, because definitely things like that can happen. We did get these wins right here. This was a second half slip we posted for the Bills versus the Patriots game. Obviously, the Bills lost, costing us our teaser yesterday, which is unfortunate. It is what it is, man. I thought the Bills would win at home versus the Patriots. I thought they were a better team. Some unfortunate events there. Josh Allen with 2 turnovers. It happens. It is what it is. That's football. These are professional teams. Obviously, any team could beat any other team on any given day, so you got to remember that. But that's what we had in VIP, guys. If you want to join our VIP, the link to our WAP is down in the description. You can get every single play that I personally play and every single slip that our mods post just by paying either $10 a week or $25 a month. If you guys want to join our Discord, The Discord is absolutely free. We would love to have you guys in there. I do drop some Discord exclusive free slips. If you guys want to get those, join the Discord. We'd love to have you part of the community. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into these games, this game, and let's talk about what I have for the Chiefs versus the Jags on this nice Monday night. So right now we got the Jaguars plus 178 at home. They are 3.5 underdogs on the spread. Then the total on this game is sitting at 45.5 right now. The public betting right now has 89% of the money on the Chiefs. 63% of the money on the Chiefs covering the spread, and the total 73% of the money on the over 45.5. Now, that being said, guys, let's talk about these two teams, because I did say this before the season started. Before game one, I said I thought the Jaguars were going to have a good season this year. Something told me Trevor Lawrence was going to have a good season. And I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence is the reason they're winning games. Right now, Travis Etienne seems to be their star offensive player. But they have looked good, man. Jaguars are sitting 3-1 so far. They just come off of a win versus San Francisco, beat them 26-21. The game before that, they beat Houston 17-10. They did lose their only game to the Bengals. That was, I think Joe Burrow got hurt in that game. I'm not 100%. That, to me, was a game they should have won. Couldn't get any defensive stops that game, so I think that's what beat them. I can't remember the exact script of that game, but I do remember that I had the Jags in that game on my fantasy pick'em, and it ended up chalking because the Bengals ended up coming back and winning in a game that Jags should have won. So I do remember being a little bit salty about that loss. Then they beat Carolina in week 1, which isn't saying much. If you look at the Chiefs, on the other hand, they started off looking rough, man. An 0-2 start for the Chiefs is something pretty unheard of lately. They did lose to the Chargers and then to the Eagles, so two tough teams that beat them. I know the Chargers haven't looked good recently, but that game in Brazil, they looked strong versus the Chiefs. Lost to the Eagles by a field goal, ended up smacking the Giants 22-9, and they just whooped up on the Ravens 20-37. The Ravens obviously not looking good at all defensively, especially getting blown out yesterday. So yesterday was one of those days that wasn't good for teasers. It was a good day for props, but teasers ended up costing me a little bit just because a lot of these teams that were plus money ended up blowing out other teams, things like that. So lots of high scoring, big point differentials in the games yesterday, so it made teasers a little bit tougher. This game, tough to call, man. Right now, looking at the spread, and I don't have a teaser locked in yet because I'm not 100% what I want to do. But if you look at the spread right now, I'm kind of leaning towards Jacksonville getting plus 10.5 on a 7-point teaser, and then taking the over 38.5. I'm unsure of whether I want to do the over or under on this. Some of these games from these teams have been low scoring. I just feel like the Chiefs are going to be able to put points up versus the Jags, and I feel like the Chiefs' rushing defense hasn't been that strong this season. With Etienne playing the way he's been playing, I can see the Jags getting some points from running the ball too. I mean, obviously they're going to throw the ball. I'm not saying they're not going to throw the ball. I'm just saying that the way Etienne's been playing, I feel like the Chiefs are going to have a hard time stopping him, which is crazy, man. Because last year the Chiefs were the rushing defense of the NFL. Like when you played or bet against the Chiefs, you pretty much said they're not going to be able to run the ball on the Chiefs, so they're going to have to pass the ball. So if the team didn't have a strong passing offense, you pretty much said, oh, the Chiefs are going to win. And this year has been a little bit different. So let's take a look at these offenses. If you look at the Chiefs' offense, they're averaging 332 yards per game. Right now, the 17th ranked offense. If you look at their passing yards, they're averaging 221 passing yards and 110 rushing yards per game. So 12th ranked passing offense and the 19th ranked rushing offense. If you look at the defense from the Jags giving up 83 yards per game rushing, which is the 4th ranked defense, and then they're giving up 233.5 passing yards per game. So Mahomes probably going to have some success through the air. Let's talk about that. Obviously, Mahomes was missing a lot of his receivers at the beginning of the season. Xavier Worthy getting hurt in the first game, obviously didn't play the next couple. He did play his last game, and Worthy had a pretty decent game with like 6 receptions, something like that. So Mahomes has some targets this game for sure. I do think the Jags are going to struggle to stop the Chiefs. If you look at the other side of things, the Jags averaging 350 yards on offense per game, which is the 10th ranked offense. If you look at the Chiefs giving up 312 yards per defense, the 12th ranked defense. So rushing yards, Jags are getting 144 per game and 204 passing yards. So they're almost running the ball for the same distance they're throwing the ball, which is pretty crazy against some of the teams they played, including the Texans. If you look at the Chiefs, 127 yards per game on defense allowed in terms of rushing yards. So they're 21st ranked rushing defense, which is bottom 10 in the league. Passing yards, less than 200 passing yards per game. The 7th ranked passing defense in the league. So they're still giving up a lot of rushing yards, not many passing yards. If you look at points per game allowed, they're giving up 19 points per game. Then the Jags are scoring 24 points per game. So if you were to take those two numbers, and kind of average them out, you're looking at 33 divided by, or 43 divided by 2. So you're looking at 21.5 points given up by the Chiefs in this game, just by averaging. Now, averaging means nothing in NFL. I'm just throwing it out there. If the Jags get 23-ish points, or 21-ish points, 3 TDs, and you have the Chiefs winning, then you're looking at least a 45-point game probably. So that definitely goes over a 38.5 total. If you look at the Chiefs' offense, they're averaging 24 points per offense. Jags are giving up 18. You average those out, you got 42.2 divided by 2, which is 21. So 21.1 to be exact. So you're looking at 3 TDs again. So you're looking at both teams possibly getting 21 points based off of numbers and averages. That means nothing. I'm not saying that's what they're going to score. I'm just trying to break this down a little bit more so we can look at the total on this game, because the total for me is going to be what decides this teaser, because I do think the Jags keep it within 10 points at home, because the Jags, like I said, looking strong, man. I don't think they're going to get blown out by the Chiefs tonight. That being said, who knows? You can kind of use your best judgment on this total. I'm leaning towards the over 38.5 right now, but that could be a very sweaty over. And if these teams come out playing the defense that they've had in some of these games, because some of these games have been very, very low scoring. If you take a look, 32 points or 31 points versus the Giants. Now, the Giants couldn't put up points, so that makes a huge difference there as well. Giants score a couple more TDs, and this game is competitive and high scoring. Phillies, 37 versus the Eagles. Eagles are a tough offense and a pretty strong defense. That one worries me. Chargers, obviously, they put up 48 points. San Francisco, this was a 47-point game. This is a 27 versus Houston. So some of these games are very low scoring, 36 versus Carolina. So that does worry me slightly for the total, which is why I'm having such a hard time. I'm going to let you guys make your decision on it. For me, for the teaser, in terms of points allowed, I'm going to be taking the Jags plus 10.5 rather than the Chiefs plus 2.5 or plus 3.5, because I like the 10.5 better for the Jags. Just me personally. That being said, let's jump into some player props for this game, guys. So I've got 4 player props. Yesterday's player props went well. We hit 4 of the 5 that we posted. The only one that missed was the Tressway punts, and hopefully we can get that sweep today. So we're going to start out with our punt prop, because I do like one punt prop on the board right now, and that's going to be for our man Logan Cook. Forgot I can't pull it up on here. Punts are not on Outlier, unfortunately. So let's click punts. Right now you have Kansas City punter with 3 punts, and then Logan Cook with 4 punts, which is the Jags punter. If you look at the Jags punter, so far, the 4 games this season they have played, he had 5 punts in his last game versus San Francisco. Then he had 6 punts versus Houston. So against the 2 decent defenses, he punted at least 5 times. The 2 defenses in Cincinnati, the Bengals, and then the Carolina, which is 2 non-existent defenses, he only had 2 punts. So looking at the Chiefs, man, Chiefs defense is not bad. I could see them stepping it up today. 4 punts out of 11 offensive possessions isn't a lot. So I'm going to roll with it. Now, we have to get 5 punts for this to cash. 4 punts is going to be a push. A push is obviously not going to give you the same payout, but it's still profitable. So I'm going to take a risk on this at 4 punts. Logan, if this does end up being an extremely high or extremely low scoring game, then Logan Cook will probably punt 5 or 6 times minimum. So we're gonna take our chances on this. Cook. They do have punts on parlay play now. I found out yesterday. So whoever dropped that comment and said punts are on parlay play, I will give you a free week of VIP. Message me on Discord. But I can't remember who it was. If you're watching the video, you get a free week, because I did not know this, and I probably wouldn't have checked for a long time. So knowing that there, I can now lock these in for free on the video. That being said, second pick of the day, I'm going to be locking in with the Logan Cook punt prop. It's going to be another kicker prop. I'm going to take our man Harrison Butker. I'm going to take PAT made for Butker. I'm going to take him over 1.5 PATs made. This gives us a 2X on Prizepicks. 150 will win us $300. That's the unit size that I'm playing on Prizepicks right now. 150 to win 300. If you don't want to play Butker, you can take field goals made as well. You can do whatever you want if you want to swap another goblin with Butker. I think that the Chiefs get 2 TDs in this game. I don't think that they're held to nothing but field goals and 1 touchdown. Butker should kick 2 field goals or 2 PATs, in my opinion, and we can pull them up real quick. Butker, Chiefs kicker, under 2.5 extra points. We're going to change this to over 1.5. Last season, he cashed this line 12 of 16 games. So they cashed this 75% of games last season. He had at least 2 PATs. This season, he's cashed it 2 of 4. And you can look, he missed 1 extra point here. It was blocked, I'm pretty sure, by the Giants. So that one should have cashed. So he should be 3-1 on the season. But one of them was blocked. There's been a lot of blocked field goals, a lot of blocked kicks this season. So Jags giving up right at 2 per game. Top 10 defense in terms of touchdowns allowed. So they've been pretty good on defense so far this season. But we'll see what happens this game. I think the Chiefs can score twice, and I'm going to be locking this in as our first slip of the day. Let's go ahead and pull Butker up real quick. I'll lock this in live. PAT. And of course, they don't have PATs on here. Kicking points. A struggle, man. I can't lock in this slip live. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these promos and one of these NFL promos and play it instead. So they got Travis Kelce. It's the only NFL promo they have. We have other promos. The promos today suck. Yeah, I'm not taking Blake Snell to get 7 Ks in a playoff game. Not happening. We'll find something to pair with Logan Cook. Let's go ahead and jump into the third pick, and then we'll live research a slip and just try to find that fifth play, I guess, that I'm going to give for the free pick. So that being said, let's jump into our third play of the day. It's going to be for our man Travis Etienne. I am taking a fantasy score line for our man Travis. I'm going to take him over 12.5 fantasy score on Prizepicks. It's 12.15 on underdog, or actually it's 12.55. It was 12.15 a minute ago. It got bumped. Fantasy score on Prizepicks, you're looking at 12.5 for Travis Etienne. Last season, he barely cashed this line. He did not look that good last season. This season, he looks like a freaking workhorse running back. He is averaging 16.65 fantasy score per game right now. On average, he's had 19.5 versus San Francisco. You're going against a team that's allowing a lot of rushing yards. So let's take a look at the rush yards for Travis Etienne. So rushing yards this season, he's averaging 98 per game. Let me tell you something. 100 rushing yards in a game is 10 fantasy score by itself. Just 10. You throw in one TD, he has 16 already, which cashes the line automatically. If you look at Kansas City's rushing yards defense, they were giving up 127 rushing yards per game, bottom 10 in the league. Go to versus running back, they're giving up almost 100 rushing yards to the running back only, which is the bottom 10 in the league. Come over here to rush attempts for Travis Etienne. He is averaging 16.3 rush attempts per game, 19 being his high on the season versus San Francisco to last game. If you look at their pass versus run rate, they do run the ball 44% of the time, pass the ball 56% of the time, so they are a pass-first offense with their man Trevor Lawrence. If you look at rushing attempts, so far Travis Etienne is getting 56.5% of the rush share. He's going to be the one who runs the ball. You got 13% coming from Trevor Lawrence, so that's going to be 70%. They don't have too many running backs that they're leaning towards right now. Etienne is that guy right now, and I expect him to continue to be that guy, especially in a big game. When he has played the way he's played this season, you can't not play him against the Chiefs, who have struggled against the run. So I think Travis Etienne is going to be looked for a lot today. I do think the Chiefs have a mission to maybe try to stop the run, which could be a little bit tougher for Etienne. But there's another reason I like Etienne's fantasy. Let's take a look at his receptions. So receptions are 1 fantasy point each reception you get on Prizepicks. That's not including the receiving yards. So you get at least 1 point for a reception. He's averaging 1.5 receptions per game. Now, he's averaging 2.5 targets per game. This game versus Houston, he dropped both passes, or both passes were uncatchable. Either way, 2 targets. He didn't get any catches. This game versus San Francisco, he only got 1. He had 3 targets in both of his first game. Now, let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs receptions defense. Overall, they have a middle-of-the-pack defense, almost top 10 in terms of receptions allowed. If you go to running backs, bottom 10 in the league, giving up 5 receptions per game to running backs. This is a running back that doesn't get a ton of targets, getting 2.5 per game, which isn't a lot, but you're going against a team that struggles against these little screen passes to running backs. And that being said, the Jags are going to be breaking this down way more efficiently than I even am on this video. So they're going to be watching tapes. They're going to be watching things that running backs and receivers have had success with to try to break down this defense. And I think Travis Etienne could get 4 or 5 targets today. 3 at minimum, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. I could be off on that. I do think he does. And we're going to look at red zone touchdowns, and we're going to look at red zone. So touchdowns for Travis Etienne, he's had 1 TD in each game so far, and that's just rushing touchdowns, which is 6 fantasy score. If you come down here and look at red zone targets, so red zone targets, Travis Etienne, this is targets, so this is receptions. In the red zone, he has just as many red zone targets as any other receiver on his team. So getting tied for first in red zone targets. Red zone rush attempts, he's getting 60% of the rush share. So he's going to be the running back they put in the red zone. So if the Jags can get close, you got a very strong chance that Travis Etienne gets a chance to have a touchdown in the game, which a receiving touchdown is going to be 4 points plus the reception, so it'll be 5, and then a passing TD or a rushing TD is going to be 6. So lots of chances here for Travis Etienne to go over this fantasy, and let's go ahead and pull this up real quick. So Etienne fantasy score. Travis Etienne, 12.5. 12.5 is pretty low. You give him 4 receptions. Let's say he gets 4, which is a very, very high number. And you only need 8.5 from everything else, which is pretty I'm not going to say easy to do, but I think it happens. So pairing with Travis Etienne, who am I taking? I'm going to be taking our man Travis Kelce. I'm taking receptions from Travis Kelce. I'm going to buy this down to over 2.5. This is one of the safer plays on the board, in my opinion. This gives us another double up, 150 to win 300 if you want to play it. For the ones who don't like double ups, let me give you an example. If you played one double up every single day of the month and just happened to get lucky and cash every double up at $150, you'd have a $4,500 profit month on one double up per day. So remember that. Like if you can profit one double up per day, you can profit $4,500 a month on just that app. So just throwing it out there. I'm not saying that's doable for everyone, but for a lot of people it is, and it can definitely happen. So receptions for Kelce is 1.03 in parlay play. I don't like that payout, but we'll see what it is with Etienne. Okay, man. Do they not have... I just can't spell his name. That's what it is. All right, so come down here to fantasy score, 12.5. This is going to give us a 1.83x. So horrible value on parlay play. Oh, I got Kelce at 2.5. What am I talking about? Man, I was about to lose it on parlay play. I'm not going to lie. 2.5 receptions. So this gives us, it's a 2.01. We're good. And I have a free entry, $5 free entry. I have to play the $5 free entry first. For some reason, parlay play does not let you turn that off. So you know what? We're going to have to relock this in for another $250. Travis Etienne. We're going to come over here, get his fantasy. And we're going to put $250 on this to win us $502. Lock in this slip live. And then we got to pick we'll pull up Travis Kelce receptions first. I'll show you why I like it. So Kelce, 2.5 receptions is pretty self-explanatory. His original line sitting at 3.5. I think it's 4. But 2.5, he's cashed 84% of games last season. Last season, he averaged 8 targets per game. This season so far, he's averaging 5.5 targets, and he's cashed at 3 or 4 games on the season. Jacksonville's receptions defense, one of the worst in the league. They give up 23 receptions per game. You go to tight ends, it's middle of the pack. They give up 5 receptions per game to tight ends. Travis Kelce's going to get a lot of looks from our man Patrick Mahomes. The chemistry's there. If Xavier Worthy can't get open, Travis Kelce will be there. So 2.5 receptions, I don't think it's a lot, especially when you're getting 6 targets per game. Some of these games he's getting 7 or more. So like to play here. They throw the ball 59% of the time. Travis Kelce is the second most looked at receiver on their team right now, with Hollywood Brown being number 1, and that's because they do have some injuries as well. Xavier Worthy's here. Xavier Worthy's targets is probably going to come up. Travis Kelce probably going to end up being number 3, but I do like the chance here for him to give us 3 receptions in a game like this. That's probably going to be competitive. So Travis Kelce, receptions, that's why I like that one. So let's go ahead and pull up this punt. So we had Cook, punts, and we need to find another play to run it with. So what's a good play we could run it with? You could take probably Etienne, just regular rushing yards, something like that. I may end up going with that, but I also don't know if I want too much exposure on the same player in a one-game slate. So we could take Pacheco, Isaiah Pacheco receptions. What do they have for him? 0.5 receptions. He probably gets 1 reception. Kareem Hunt, rush attempts. Do they have anything here? 6 rush attempts for Hunt is probably pretty free. That's going to give us a 1.94x. I know people aren't going to like that, but I'm looking for just a safe play to run with this. So Kareem Hunt, let's take a look at his rush attempts. How many is he averaging per game? I don't really play much Kareem Hunt, I'm going to be honest with you. So far this season, he is averaging 9 rush attempts per game. The only time he didn't cash it was versus the Chargers in game 1 when they were getting beat and they had to throw the ball. So had 13 versus Baltimore, 10 versus the Giants, then 8 versus Philly when they lost that game as well. So looking at rush share, Kareem Hunt's the number 1 RB right now. Pacheco's getting almost as many carries, and then you got a lot of scrambles from Mahomes so far this season. They're going to have to try to run the ball. I'll probably run this with Kareem Hunt just to do it for $250, just to have another slip locked in. It's almost a double up. I'm going to lock it in. If you want to play something else, you're more than welcome. So this is what we got for today, guys. We have Travis Kelce receptions with Etienne fantasy score, double up, and then a double up here for Kareem Hunt and Cook punts right there if you want to lock it in. But that's what I got for today, guys. Those are my 4 props or 5 props. If you want to consider Kareem Hunt, I'm not going to because it's a 1.05x, which is a terrible payout. But anyways, that's what I got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Lock them in if you like them. If you don't like any play, make sure you fade it, and I'll see y'all in the next video, hopefully after we cash.